Finally, the warmer days have begun to outnumber the cold, and with them, the wildflowers are bursting into life. My first crafts this season are all involving dandelions. I was hoping to use these ones to begin a batch of dandelion wine. It wouldn't be ready until the fall or even winter, but I find that bringing as many preserves from the warmer months over to the cold helped me to better get through those darker days. Unfortunately, I didn't get back home until late, and all those dandelions I had harvested began to close. So instead, I chose to set these to dry for a later craft, and save the dandelion wine for another day soon. I just finished setting up some chamomile milk to infuse. Everything has been absolute chaos for a long time, as you know, and I have some updates on the housing front that are not ideal, but okay. But today, because everything has been just crazy, I thought that it would be time to take out a recipe that I wrote 4 years ago. I went back and watched through the original recipe video this morning, and number one, I cannot believe how much I have changed over the last 4 years, but I also cannot believe how beautiful and meaningful this recipe is to me, and sometimes I forget about that, so today felt like the right day to make them. So I will be making my chamomile sweet rolls. The first step to chamomile sweet rolls is to make an infused milk with chamomile. It's the same way you'd make tea, but instead of water, you use milk. And the rest is very similar to making a cake. So let's get started. Here I have some flour, along with some salt, baking soda, and baking powder. I first wrote this recipe as a means of working calm into cooking. I wanted a recipe that married the simple joy of a handheld sweet with something to bring peace. Peace was something that was much needed 4 years ago. The times were so uncertain, and this felt like something I could create to share and make at least a small difference. To this day, I still receive messages from people sharing their stories with these sweet rolls. The beautiful reasons they've crafted them to share, or the reasons they've made them for themselves. It means a lot to me to know how many people have found at least a bit of peace through crafting them, and I'm glad to be making them once more. This should be fully steeped by now. Now just to strain it into here. It smells unbelievably incredible. Now just to add the dry ingredients, mix it all together and pop it in the oven. Now that this is all mixed and beautiful, I need to prep my pan, which is something I should have done before I started this, but always seem to forget to do in the proper time, and then just pop it in the oven. I like to prep my tins with a bit of butter and sugar. That way the cakes come out with a kind of crisp and very sweet edge. Alrighty, I have the chamomile sweet rolls in the oven. While they're baking, I will clean up everything. It is very messy, but that is par for the course with baking. And then I will dress them up. If I have time now, I might also set up some chamomile honey to infuse. I have kind of lost the great extent of the sweet tooth that I used to have, so I don't really want to put frosting or icing on them the way that I used to make my sweet rolls, but I feel like chamomile honey would be really, really good. I am going to set up a slow infusion if I do set it up, so it wouldn't be ready today, and hence why I might set it up tomorrow. But I do want to make these more often, and having the honey to add on top of them at a later date would be lovely. But first I need to clean up and get ready for these to come out of the oven. This set a little bit longer, maybe top it off some as it starts to seep down into the rest of the chamomile, but so far it looks incredible. So it has been a few more days than the next day to work on this. I have caught a cold, so I'm so sorry if you can hear that in my voice, but I'm really excited to see how this turns out. It'll take about 6 weeks to fully set, but in the meantime, it will be a beautiful little project to take care of. I'll just be filming it over ideally every day to help it infuse, and right now hopefully I'll be able to work most of the honey down before capping it off. But chamomile honey sounds like a delicious thing to me. Hi, Miss Girl. Okay, watch out for the dandelions. Up. Thank you. I think you're sweet. Alright, very good. Alright, I don't want your fur in my honey right now. Yeah, you're just gonna hang out? Okay. But anyways, I have been waiting to finish filming this video till now so that I could tell you what the heck has been going on with the housing situation. It has continued to be really up in the air for a while, and we ended up hearing back from the house that got broken into. They wrote back and said, don't know what's going on, but it's not ready yet. And then they wrote back about a week later and said that the owner was just gonna be taking it off the market. And by the time we received that email, there was not enough time between the end of the rentals to find another house, just because it is really challenging to find a house to rent with 2 big dogs. And so at this point, I talked to my landlords here, and they have given me permission to extend my lease here, and that is my plan. I haven't signed anything yet. They haven't sent it to me yet. I was hoping to have that signed before I talk to you guys to let you know. So things do still feel a little bit up in the air, but I do have that verbal confirmation and plan, so that is legally binding, at least in my city. So all of the crazy stress, all of the insaneness to say that I will be here for at least 6 more months, if not a little longer. My goodness, has this been one of the most horrible and stressful and insane periods of housing in my life. I cannot believe how difficult it was, but I am, at the end of the day, grateful to have some stability with this apartment. So I've been working on unpacking lately, and I think I'm gonna just try to make it feel more like a home in the way that I want it to. So I don't entirely know what this will look like, but I'll take you guys along with me a bit more. I know I did that in the beginning of sorting this apartment out, and then I just kind of stopped sorting it out, but I'm determined to make this feel a little bit better and come away with some things that feel really good. So one thing I really want to do is make paintings to put on the cabinets in my kitchen. I haven't really showed you guys my kitchen. It's very simple and a little bit dated, but not horribly so. But it's just not very exciting, and I figured that making some artwork to put on the cabinets might be a good way to make it a little bit more fun. I love cooking, and I would love to take you guys along with me a little bit more in my daily cooking, which tends to happen in the kitchen and not just out here where I like the space. So I want to make it something that I really enjoy. But ultimately, that's the update, that nothing's changing. I just have to unpack quite a bit and worry about this again at a later date. But for now, I am glad to have some stability, and it's spring, so I'm looking forward to getting out a little bit more, and that since things have calmed down, I'll have more time to go foraging and take you along. I have some big plans. I want to be making dandelion wine, and I want to make some lilac syrup, and I'll take you along with me on those adventures in the next video if I can get all those plants by the time the next video comes out, which I think it probably will be. You guys have been very kind through this whole process. I really appreciate it, and I can't tell you how much it means to me. But all in all, it's been crazy. It is no longer crazy. And I think it is time to top this guy off and close out this video. So I'm looking forward to spring, looking forward to being unpacked and moving forward.